Miriam and
Miriam and
Jess.
Jess. Shahid and Denise here. We made the trip from Kansas City to Vlora, Albania. We're happy that we're here. I promised on one of my other videos and even in some text messages and comments on Facebook that we do a little video and answer a lot of the questions that we're getting. We're getting a lot of them.
We are.
So we wanted to kind of address some of those things. Uh, the big one is why Albania? Since Denise and I have been together, and that's going on 11 years now, we've talked about coming to the Mediterranean. And I guess circumstances in the U.S. have kind of dictated that we needed to make a move. And so in our, and we were originally talking about Portugal.
Yep.
And actually dug in pretty deep there. Not necessarily completely committed to Portugal, but we were laying in bed one Sunday morning and looking at some of the top 10 places to live on the planet that were cost effective and safe and that kind of good stuff. And number two was Albania. And we both looked at each other and said, Albania. And so the more we dug in, the more we liked what we saw, what we read, what we heard. Denise is, oh my goodness, when she gets an idea or she's got something on her plate, she's like a dog with a bone. She will work it until it's done. So expat groups, following people on social media, YouTube, that kind of good stuff. And so the more we dug, the easier the decision became.
So as a U.S. citizen, here's some of the reasons why we chose Albania. So as a U.S. citizen, you can come to Albania for 12 months without a visa.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to stay longer than that, leave the country for 90 days and come back and your 12 months starts over.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to apply for residency, but the path to residency is very easy. Depending on, you can open a business, buy property, a retiree. There's different types of residencies that you can apply for, but they're all pretty straightforward. We've talked to a few immigration attorneys. We got the same answer, so that's always a good thing.
Consistency, no doubt.
Toronto's the capital, and it looks like a phenomenal city. But coastal was it for me.
Yeah, we talked about that. That was one of the must-haves. Is we wanted to be coastal.
Initially wanted to be, close to the capital, but Durrës, the next coastal city to that, is more industrial. It's a large port city. So we ruled that out. Saranda, which is part of the Albanian Riviera.
And closer to Greece.
Was another contender, but the more we dug in, it's really only open during high season and everything shuts down otherwise. And it's very hilly.
Yeah.
So that kind of affects the walkability.
Right.
So we landed on Vlora. It is coastal. It's flat. It's very walkable. We have the sea. We have mountains. And
it's pretty.
It's beautiful. Albania is 30 years removed from communism. So, there's differences here that, kind of are eye-opening, if you will, but nothing negative. We wanted to eat real food.
Yeah, no doubt.
So they don't have large grocery stores here. It's markets for your produce. You go to the baker for your bread, butcher for your meat, and the fishmonger for your seafood. And the food is phenomenal.
So let me ask you this. What's something that you've recognized since we've been here that's kind of stuck with you or triggered?
Just the decency. People are friendly.
Very friendly.
The language isn't necessarily a barrier. The locals, miming, pointing, Google Translate. They appreciate any effort that the expats make to communicate with them, so they are very helpful and welcoming.
Speaking of expats, there's a lot of expats here, and we've met some really nice people and offering all kinds of great information and just very, it's a community, and you can feel exactly that. I think one of the things that I've noticed just walking since we've been here, the few days that we've been here, there were a lot of black here. So there's not a lot of color. When we go outside today, we're going to stick out like a silver thumb with this red and beige on. But yeah, they wear a lot of black here. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I felt like my tie-dye sweatshirt that I had on yesterday or day before, I felt like I was wearing fluorescent colors compared to all the black clothing.
Yeah, no doubt. One of the other questions that we were asked is shopping. We talk about shopping. So we went to a few stores yesterday and picked up a few, grocery items and that kind of good stuff. It was supposed to rain last night, and we didn't want to get stuck out on the Lungomare walking in the rain, so we bought some stuff so we could fix a meal. And going to start treating it more like home than being on a vacation. But time change and jet lag and unpacking and all that kind of good stuff. It's nice to be able to get out and go and grab a meal and kind of do some of those things.
Well, and it also lets us experience the local cuisine.
Yeah, no doubt.
There is no Amazon here, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Well, there's Amazon, but no Prime, and it takes a while. And
the shipping is very expensive. Temu is used a lot for those things that you normally get on Amazon. But I don't necessarily see that as a negative. Don't need to keep buying stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
speaking of stuff, the locals and even the expats that we, have met and become associated with in the few short days that we've been here, unlike the U.S., they're not concerned about stuff. And the more I think about
status,
the more I think about the 500 plus pounds of luggage that we drug over here, it's like, why? But it's here now. We're here, and we won't be short of clothing. That's for doggone sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been asked about the currency. The local currency is lek. Euro is also used here. So, for instance, we pay our rent in euro. Utilities are in euro. But when we shop, it's lek. And it is, where was I going with this? Oh, cash is king.
Yeah.
There's very few places that accept cards. That is changing as Albania tries to, as they move towards becoming part of the EU. And those restaurants and stores that are in the prime tourist areas tend to accept cards. But cash is king.
Cash is king, for sure.
And another unique thing about living here is we don't have addresses. So, for instance, if we wanted to receive a package, it's either sent to the local post office, and there's several stations throughout the city, or you use a landmark, like a particular restaurant or a hotel. The second line of the address is your phone number. And once the package or mail is delivered, you get a call from wherever it was delivered to, and you go pick it up.
Yep.
A little unique thing about Albania.
Hey, third world, but you know what? It's developing, and it's safe, and it's comfortable. No doubt.
For me, I don't regret the decision at all.
Yeah.
Our phones have been a little challenging, so if you haven't been able to get a hold of us, Facebook is the best place right now as we work through those issues. But it's nice to breathe.
Yeah, no doubt. So what are your friends saying about your move, your choice, etc.?
Most people have said that, they find us very brave to just pick up and leave, especially with not having visited the country. Brave, bold.
Yeah.
That's kind of the resonating theme from the comments. And just why?
Yeah.
But
and my response is, why not?
Exactly.
Mine are, I guess, asking pretty much the same thing. And my response is, why not? It was time for a change, no doubt. And without necessarily going into, the thick of things, I think we all know, what the situation is in the U.S. and it may get worse before it gets better. So I no longer wanted a front row seat to that show. So, what else you got?
Um, Not really. I mean, we've talked about the language and shopping.
Yeah.
So, Albanian is the national language.
Yeah.
However, there is a huge influence and a lot of immigrants from Italy. It's
Yeah.
right across the
Right
water.
across the water. So, as a matter of fact, you can see the coast.
Yeah. That's another reason why we chose Albania. We can get to Greece driving in a few hours, short flight. We can take a ferry over to Italy. Montenegro is to the north, but Albania also we don't have to deal with snow unless we want to. We can experience the seasons in the northern part of Albania. Teth is absolutely beautiful. So you should look that up, Theth. For those that really enjoy hiking, that's your place, not mine.
So we'll come back maybe in a day or so after we have a little bit more experience so that we can share some more things with you. But keep the questions coming. We love the comments. At some point here in the very near future, we will start a YouTube channel and we will be introducing our new venture. It's Vibe and Ventures. So stay tuned.